Welcome to Blunt Thoughts, the podcast. I am Derek Williams, and we're here. We're going to rebrand this thing. If you know me from the Blunt Thoughts show before, well, I'm bringing it back, but this time it's going to be in podcast form. We're going to be bigger, better than ever before. So thanks for joining me. And this is going to be our first episode 1, the pilot episode. I thought it was the best time to do this during quarantine because there's a lot going on and you guys are on your phones and might as well put out some content. You know what I mean? So this is Blunt Thoughts, the podcast, and thanks for tuning in. First things first, like I just referenced, we're in quarantine and everything's going on, and one thing that we're going to take away from the quarantine is just a new perspective on life. And you know what I mean, like I remember how life was before all this happened, and it's like, wow. So but we're going to get into the pros and the cons of the lockdown. Okay. The pros of the lockdown are spiritual reflection. That's number one. So now that nothing's open, none of the parties or bars or any of that's open, you have plenty of time to like reflect on yourself and just look within and, you know what I mean, see what you can do better in life. And because like I don't know if we're ever going to go back to normal, how normal used to be, but if I could go back to normal, I would have been a lot more active when the world was open, because no one could have guessed that the world was going to close up and you would be locked in the house. Like who could have guessed that? So I think that now that we're here and we're in lockdown, it's time to do a little spiritual reflection and just try to improve yourself as a person, because that's what matters. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of people during this lockdown that's just kind of pissing it away, not doing anything. We got to be productive. You know what I mean? Whether that's within ourselves or helping other people, there's some way, shape, or form you can be productive during this lockdown. Pro number 2, the withdrawal from the world. Now, even if you're not doing any self-reflection or anything productive in that sense, it's the fact that like we get a break from the world. You know what I mean? We can kind of relax, take a breather. You know what I mean? A lot of college kids were overwhelmed with school, and there was people overwhelmed with their jobs, and there was a lot of people just overwhelmed, and this gave an opportunity for them to take a break and to just breathe and maybe catch up on a Netflix show or something, you know, just because you know, when everything's going on, it can get overwhelming. So this lockdown gave a lot of people a time to just take a break from the world, which I think is important. Another pro of the lockdown is a second chance when everything opens back up. If you're the same person that you were before the lockdown, after the lockdown, then you didn't have a productive lockdown. So when the world opens back up, I'm going to do things differently myself, and I'm going to make sure I capitalize and take advantage, and I'm not going to lay anything off. If I have something to do, I'm going to do it now. I'm not waiting for tomorrow, because we never know, and tomorrow is not promised at all. And literally one day I went to sleep watching basketball, and I can go to the movies, and the next day we can't do none of that. So I'm definitely going to be more grateful and more appreciative when everything opens back up, and I think that's important. And so the pros of the lockdown, I feel, like I said in review, spiritual reflection, withdrawal from the world, and a second chance when everything opens back up. Those are the pros, but you can't have pros without cons. So here are the cons. It's hard to plan ahead. So like, I know a lot of you had vacations planned for the next month, and that's all over with. You know what I mean? It's really day to day now, because we don't know what source of news or what can happen on a day to day basis. So it's hard for me to say, well, I'm going to do this next month, or I'm going to do this in a couple of weeks. All we have is today. That's all. That's why I'm starting this podcast today. There's no reason to put it off and wait till next month or the month after. Do it now. Whether it's a podcast, you want to read a book, or start a business, or anything that you like want to do, start now because, like I said, we can't just take time for granted and say, let's do it tomorrow, because we might wake up tomorrow and be in martial law. So who knows? Social distancing is a little bit of a challenge. And I'm going to tell you why it's a challenge, because, I mean, for me personally, I'm used to a lot of human interaction. And I'm used to, you know what I mean, just the intimacy from human to human, like handshakes, high fives, just little things like that. And to be kind of not taken away from that, but to be recommended to keep your distance and not give handshakes, it's an adjustment. You know what I mean? When you go to the store, you got to stand 6 feet. You know what I mean? When you in line, they got the tape with the aisles, can't be next to nobody. There's only a certain amount of people at the store, and it really is an apocalyptic setting when you go to these stores, especially the ones that are popular like Walmart. It just, if you would have told me a couple months ago that you would have to stand in line to go to Walmart, I would have been like, what are you talking about? So I think it's just hard to plan ahead. Make sure you take advantage of whatever you want to do. Use your resources, use your skills, your abilities, and capitalize right now. That's what's most important. The third, like I said, the third con, I referenced it, but the apocalyptic setting is scary. Like the stuff that I'm seeing when I'm just out and about driving is the stuff that you'll see in a movie. It really is. So like, I'll watch a zombie movie and you see the shelves empty, and now that's real life. So like, whatever they've been trying to warn us about or whatever, it's at our doorstep right now. So I think that this whole apocalyptic, everyone's wearing masks, it's like the Bird Box. Like, it's crazy. That's a movie on Netflix if you haven't seen it. Good movie. But yeah, the apocalyptic setting at Walmart is it's unreal. So that's a con. It's an unsettling feeling. Like, it's like, will we ever go back to? It's really like up in the air. It's like so much. Everything's being canceled. Everything's being adjusted. It's like the world is literally changing. 2020 has been crazy. So those are the pros and cons of the lockdown. So that's the lockdown. Now let's talk about more what's going on nationally. This is the stuff that you can find anywhere you want to look. One thing I want to do is, you have to give credit where credit is due. And despite the media's attempt to slander the man every chance he gets, I will be the first to say Donald Trump did a great job with this pandemic, and he has some forces that he's fighting against. Like, he just opened up an investigation for the World Health Organization because they're in cahoots with China, and there's a lot going on. And he's the one that wanted to have the ban, and they didn't. They told him no. They withheld information. So that's the facts. So when it comes to the political stuff and the White House and the president and all that good stuff, is just keep in mind, make sure you get the facts. You have a lot of news outlets that are biased one way or the other. You just want to get the facts. That's all you want to do. I'm not a big fan of, politics and all that type of stuff. I don't really get into it, but I know right from wrong. And the World Health Organization holding information and working with China that's wrong. And thanks to that, a lot of people are dead because of this virus, which is a man-made virus, even though they're trying to tell you it's not. But and Trump even said, like, in one of the press conferences, he said, if like Joe Biden were to become president, then we won't have a country no more, and we will be owned by China. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes, and I don't care who you voted for in the past. I don't care what the news told you. I just ask, just do your own research. Just find the facts and get on the right side of history, because it's a lot more going on than just the coronavirus and the lockdown. And there's a lot of people like Bill Gates that I'm not accepting no vaccine from Bill Gates. Like, since when is he a doctor? So, and he's already donated millions and billions of dollars to a vaccine. And like, you got pro-vaccine and you got against vaccine, you know what I mean? Like, so it's a lot going on. And like I said, I'm pretty sure we're just scratching the surface of what's to come. But I just want to say, like I said, regardless of your political beliefs, you got to look at the facts. And the facts are that, for one, obviously Trump didn't create the virus. For two, you might say, well, he should have acted earlier. Well, he did, and Fauci and the World Health Organization told him not to. So you got to just be careful where you get your information from. Take the bias out of it, get the facts, and I think you'll be better off. So now we're going to talk about what we learned during this lockdown and everything. And what have we learned? I hope you learned something. I hope you're not just playing a game all day. I hope you're doing something productive. I mean, unless you're Ninja and you get paid to play the game all day, then you can play the game all day. But what we learned, number one, we need to educate ourselves. That is important. The mainstream media, or what they call them, the lamestream media, you cannot rely on them for your source of information, just because, like I said, the news is just too biased one way or another. So you just got to find the facts. Another thing that we've learned is it's important to find a skill or a trade that you're good at, because like, imagine, I could only imagine, like, if I was a barber during times like this, I'd probably be a millionaire right now. So I think it's time to learn a skill, a trade, something that no matter what happens is going to be in need. And don't take normal for granted. Like I said before, like months ago, I was just going about normal life and doing whatever I wanted and just kind of pissing days off. I had so much I had to do, but I kind of put it off. But now, after all this, if we ever do get back to some type of normalcy, if I have something to do, I'm gonna do it that day, because we just cannot take life for granted. And like, this is new. Like I'm 21, okay? So as far as like world tragedies, this is, you know what I mean, my first one that I lived through and was affected by. Even if I was alive for 9/11, it's like I said, it didn't affect me personally. I would have watched it on the news and, you know what I mean, felt sorry for everyone involved. But this actually affects me personally and everyone I know. You know what I mean? Virus or no virus. And another thing is, we need to take interaction more seriously after this is all said and done. And this is assuming this ends, but I felt like before we are too reliant on digital connection, and now we have to be. But so I feel like when we get to a point where we don't have to FaceTime each other for meetings and we can actually meet, those are times that we should cherish more and just appreciate the little things. And the last thing that we've learned during this pandemic and lockdown is that we need sports. We really do. We need sports. Basketball, everything is canceled except wrestling. Wrestling is wrestling with no fans. It's crazy. But everything is canceled. We ain't watched no basketball. The playoffs were supposed to start. Football teams won't have like mini camps and OTAs. We'll see about training camp. We'll see how things translate when the fall comes and it's football season. But it's like, I feel sorry for sports broadcasters in 3 weeks. You know what I mean? Like, how many topics can you find without no content? So with no games, I don't know what you have to talk about other than past stuff, which is over and done with. So, and when I say we need sports, obviously I'm not saying that put everyone's health at risk and play the sport anyway, but just the idea of sports and the point and just how it brings us all together, and despite race, religion, and whatever, it just brings us together. And that's one of the only, there's a couple things that bring us all together, but sports is one of those things, and I feel like that's more important than we give it credit for. So what we learned to educate yourself, find a skill, don't take normal for granted, personal interaction, and we need sports. So that's my coronavirus and lockdown like thoughts right now. Like I said, news is coming daily, so I'll keep updating you guys on all that stuff, and just be careful out there. You know what I mean? Wear masks, wear gloves, take the safety precautions. You know what I mean? Regardless of how you feel the virus is real or not, or if it is a hoax, or, you know what I mean? Like, just protect yourself. That's what's most important. So but speaking of sports, something happened this off season in football. And if you know me, it kind of like shook my world a little bit, and I'm going to address it for everyone next. So stay tuned. Here's one of my favorite songs. We're about to go on break. We're going to segue into the next topic here shortly. So stay tuned.
Raindrops walking through the streets at midnight, twisting, turning, I don't feel right. Thinking about my shawty as I see her in the moonlight, thinking that I'm fucked up, well, you're damn right. I hate to pick and choose.
All right, welcome back. Like I said before in the previous segment, there's something that happened this offseason in football that, if you know me, it impacted me. It shook my whole world, something that never happened and I never thought would happen. And I'm going to address it for everyone here, you know what I mean? So there's no confusion. I'm going to document this, so pay attention. So as the people who know me know, that my favorite team is the New England Patriots, okay? Now, obviously, Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski are big legends in New England, and as Patriot fans, we've grown to love those players. You know what I mean? I've even seen Tom Brady play live. So Tom Brady was a free agent. He leaves New England. He goes to Tampa Bay, okay? And then Gronk follows him not too long after. So you might ask me, Derek, who's your favorite team now? Okay, I'll explain to you what's going on. Yes, I am still a Patriot fan. And before I get to Tampa, I want to say this. Our quarterback moving forward is Jarrett Stidham. You might ask me, well, do you believe in him? Yes, I do. He's a very accurate quarterback. He's very mobile. He can move. He's not Lamar Jackson, but he has feet more. He's faster than Brady. And honestly, I look at ourselves as an organization, and I think, well, there's so many times I watched the Patriot game and I was like, man, if Brady could just run a little bit, that's a first down or a touchdown. And now we have a quarterback that can run a little bit. So if you're adding mobility to Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels' offense, that's pretty scary, because the Patriots they haven't had a mobile quarterback in 20 years. Brady's been their quarterback. So, and if you look at the NFL now, it's a lot of running around, making plays with your feet. Lamar Jackson, Mahomes, Carson Wentz, Watson, guys making magic happen. And if you look at who's getting drafted, Burrow, Tua, these are guys who can move, make plays with their feet. If you're not making plays with your feet, you're slowly becoming irrelevant. So yeah, we have a guy that can move. So now McDaniels and Belichick can run RPOs, and they can run some read option, and they can run some bootleg, and adding mobility to that offense is a big factor, especially when you have the smartest coaches in history still. So I really am excited about the Patriots this year. What Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels does with a new quarterback, I think we have the potential to be better than we were last year. And last year we had Tom Brady, but we just weren't a good team last year. We had a good defense. We still have Stephon Gilmore and Devin McCourty. Our defense is okay. We drafted some players, you know what I mean? We lost some guys. We lost Van Noy and Jamie Collins, but we got some guys in the draft. Belichick always finds the unknowns in the 6th round, and you know what I mean? That's Belichick. So I believe in Bill. I believe in Jarrett Stidham. And yes, I still am a Patriot fan. Yes, I will still be watching the Patriot games. I am not turning my back on England. Also, that doesn't mean you're not going to catch me 8 o'clock watching Tampa Bay versus Green Bay, rooting for Tampa, like all the LeBron fans. Let me talk to the LeBron fans. I know you guys have went from Cleveland to Miami, back to Cleveland to LA. And there was a point in time where being a bandwagon fan was looked down upon, but now it's kind of normal, because we fall in love with these players, and the players don't always stay with one team, and we don't really have to show loyalty to a team, you know what I mean, just in general. Like I said, I'm still a Patriot fan, but if I don't owe them no loyalty as a fan. If I wanted to switch up, I can switch up. And I think today's age, with guys just moving and how free agency is rare to find a guy play for a team for 20 years. That doesn't happen no more. So guys moving, and it's okay to go where your favorite player goes. Carmelo Anthony was one of my favorite basketball players. I rooted for every team he went to. So it's no different in football. I'm still a Patriot fan, but I am going to be rooting for Tampa Bay. Now, when Brady and Gronk leave Tampa Bay, I leave Tampa Bay. You can't not root for them. You know what I mean? I'm not mad or anything. I'm excited. I think they're going to win the NFC. I think they're going to win the NFC South. I think they're going to go to the Super Bowl. That's how much I believe in Brady and Gronk. And then you add Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. They're going to be a problem. So, yeah, Tampa Bay, not saying they're my favorite team, but I will be rooting for them with Brady and Gronk. But, yeah, as far as the Patriots go, do I think we can still win the division? Yes. Am I a little upset that Tua went to the Dolphins? Yes. Did the Bills improve? Yes. But we still got Belichick. He's the best coach ever. That's what everybody else say. That's what I say. I mean, if anyone wants to dispute that, you go ahead. But the resume speaks for itself. So players come and go, but we still got the same coach. We got the same continuity. And if you remember, when Brady, no one knew who Brady was. He was a 6th round pick, and no one thought he was going to turn out how he did. Jarrett Stidham's a 4th round pick. Quiet guy. No one really. And if you switched his junior and senior year at college, if he would have came out his junior year, he would have been a 1st round pick. His offensive line got bad his 2nd year, and his receivers were dropping balls his 2nd year. So the only reason he even was a 4th rounder is because he played an extra year and everything fell apart. And I mean, they make the same argument with a guy like Jordan Love. Like if he would have came out last year, he probably would have been one of the first 2 quarterbacks taken. But sometimes staying in school too long can work to your benefit or your detriment. So, but yeah, go Patriots, go Brady and Gronk in Tampa, and it's going to be if we get a football season. Like I said, we don't know what's going to happen with this whole coronavirus stuff. We don't know how much worse it's going to get. We don't know how much better it's going to get. We just don't know. So assuming we have a football season, go Patriots and go Bucks. I'm best of both worlds, and I'm glad that the Patriots are in the AFC and the Bucks are in the NFC, so I don't have to root for 2 teams in the same conference. And it's very unlikely they meet in the Super Bowl. So that's my stance on the Patriots and Brady and Gronk leaving. It's okay. He gave us 20 great years. The Patriots were a part of my childhood. You know what I mean? I used to watch. I never missed a Patriot game since I became a fan. I'm going to miss watching Brady and Foxborough on Sunday nights. But, hey, the world moves on, and so do people. So I ain't going nowhere in New England. In Tampa, I'm coming for you. So here is another one of my favorite songs. Now, before we transition into the next topic, I just want to say, like I said, if you are still watching, thank you. This is our first episode. This is Blunt Thoughts, the podcast. If you have a topic that you want me to talk about, inbox me, DM me, you know what I mean? Call me if you got my number. And you can comment, get in touch with me. I'll have my Instagram and Facebook and all my social media at the end of the video. So subscribe. This is a new channel. And yeah, I'm glad you guys are here for the ride. Next, we're going to talk about the 5 girls you should stay away from in 2020. And like I said, I'm 21. So I'm talking about my age group. I don't know what the 30-year-olds do or the 40-year-olds do. I'm talking about my age group. So I'm about to warn the fellas, the top 5 girls in 2020 to stay away from. So here's one of my favorite songs, and that's our next topic.
I lost hope. In love with the drugs, my only way to cope. Live or die young, I've been thinking to let it go. I don't wanna be the one to hold you down when you ain't have nobody because I was still around. I lost hope. In love with the drugs.
I am back, and as you guys can see, I have a pink do-rag going. My hair is braided right now, but I can't get it cut, so I have new braids without a cut. So yeah, it's been hard out here making you know what I mean, trying to do little stuff like get a haircut. So like I said, if I was a barber right now, I would have $1 million, because man, I know supply and demand is a real thing, and during a time like right now, haircuts are in demand. So yeah, barbers, get on it. And if there is any barber that wants to cut my hair, hit me up, because I need one right now. But anyways, so it's 2020 and relationships are different now than they used to be. Like, so my mom and dad didn't have to worry about, oh yeah, you like someone's picture or who DM'd you. You know what I mean? It's a whole different dynamic with social media in today's world. So like, you have relationship advice from like the OGs, and that's more the fundamental stuff, you know what I mean, loyalty, blah blah blah. but they didn't have to live through the Twitter era, the Instagram era, the Facebook era, the Snapchat era. They didn't have to live through that. So I'm about to kind of warn my fellas about the top 5 girls to just stay away from in 2020. And if you're one of these girls, then hey, don't be. We hate you. Number 5 is the lazy girl. All right, so the lazy girl is the girl that thinks that Netflix and chilling every Saturday night is a relationship. Okay, a lazy girl is someone who doesn't want to do anything, doesn't want to, just has no motivation, just really is just relying on her looks to get by, but doesn't have any type of drive or goals or ambition. So you stay away from the lazy girl, because what happens is, if you're with the lazy girl, then you'll be carrying a relationship on your fucking back, and who wants to do that? So stay away from the lazy girl that just sits at home all day and just has no drive, no determination to do anything, and she just has no personality, just lazy. Number 4, the narcissist. That's a big one, fellas. Stay away from these narcissistic women who think the world revolves around them and they're the only ones that matter. And one minute they love you, and the next minute they'll disrespect the hell out of you. Now, all my dudes listening out there, do not take disrespect from a female. And if you're a female, obviously don't take disrespect from men. We should all respect each other the same. But there's a lot of girls out there that just so flip-floppy, wishy-washy. One minute, oh, I love you, you're this, and now it's like, oh, I hate you, you ain't shit, blah blah blah. And I mean, a lot of guys, I don't know like where your mental toughness is, and you know what I mean, but it just, you don't want to get yourself in a situation where you have a girl that uplifts you one day and then a girl that puts you down the next day and makes you want to question your manhood and question just everything, because the girls do that. And like, narcissistic women are just impossible to date. They might be cute and all that good stuff, but what's the good of the looks of the food if it doesn't taste good? So narcissistic women are no in 2020. Number 3, these are the women who can't have a deep conversation. Okay, so what I mean by that is, there's a lot of things in life that, you know what I mean, whether they're conspiracy theories or just life in general, there's a lot of things, that a lot of information out there, and I do research and try to learn new things every day, the things that the news doesn't tell you. I try, you know what I mean, and you want a girl that's open to information. Like, you know what I mean? You want to be able to sit down and watch a documentary with a female, or teach her something, install some knowledge in her. Not saying that you're the smartest thing in the world, but you want a girl that's open to going on adventures. You know what I mean? Whether that's physically, spiritually, emotionally, you know what I mean? Like, you got to teach, you got to instill stuff in her. You know what I mean? Like, but the girls who are just like cookie cutter and I love Kim Kardashian, you know what I mean? Those are the girls that don't have no substance to them. And if you can't have a deep convo, how good do they really know you? You know what I mean? Like, if you talk about BS all day and stuff that don't matter, and you never have a deep conversation, like, I want to know, like, what your goals and ambitions in life. Do you believe in, you know what I mean, God and religion? Do you believe in Illuminati or whatever the case may be? You want to stay away from the girls who just can't have that deep conversation, that can't have that next level conversation. Because let's just say I'm watching something educational, or you know what I mean, I want her to be just receptive to it. I don't want her to be like, oh, you're crazy, or you just want a girl that you can just explore everything with and just has an open mind. You don't want no girl that's just stuck on stupid and, you know what I mean, and Meg the Stallion all day. So number 2, girls to stay away from are the social media whores. Okay, these are the worst ones. Okay, now the social media whores. Now, if you do one of these following things, you are a social media whore. Okay. Number 1, the girls who cannot post a picture without having their ass in it. Oh my Lord. Because like, at the end of the day, you know what I mean, girls, you guys can do whatever you want. You know what I mean? Like, no one's judging you. No one's saying you can't do this. But if you're gonna be in a real like relationship, this is stuff that just can't fly. So posting ass every time you take a picture, that them thirst traps, like we see right through that. And no one's gonna take a girl serious who puts all her goods on display for social media. Like make this make sense to me. I'm gonna wife a girl who takes a picture with her ass out, and like that it doesn't even make sense. So you want a girl with some self-respect, you know what I mean? And like there's females out there that can take a picture with just face, boom, 300 likes all off bat, you know what I mean? Like some so not all girls are like that, but there's a lot of social media whores. If you're one of them girls who's in every guy's likes and comments, you're done. You're done. And like me, I don't check likes, you know what I mean? Sometimes I see, oh, who liked this or whatever, and you be seeing the same females in every guy's pics, and it's just like you're thirsty. You come off as thirsty, and I don't want no girl that's just like in 100 guys pics a day. Because I mean, if you really break it down, what's a like? You know what I mean? Let's just say I post a hard ass picture or whatever, and some girls like it. Me as a dude, you know what I mean? I'm looking at that as, okay, they interested or whatever. You know what I mean? That's their way of saying, oh, you're cute, just in like form. You know what I mean? It's so like a like is saying, and people might say, oh, you're reading too much into it. Like I said, if you want to date a girl, here's the thing. If I'm on my phone or whatever, and I'm scrolling through Instagram, and I see a dude's picture, and I see my girl like that picture, it's a respect thing at the end of the day. You can do whatever you want, you know what I mean? But I'm pretty sure a lot of these girls don't like it when guys is liking their girls' pictures, and vice versa. So if you are one of them girls who just constantly in dudes' likes and comments just coming off as thirsty, it just makes you look like you're an attention seeker in a way. You know what I mean? I really don't be liking girls' pictures. You know what I mean? I'll probably like one girl's picture every 2 months. So I'm not going to give no validation, you know what I mean, via likes. You have to earn that. My number one female to stay away from in 2020 are the girls with premium snaps and OnlyFans, and the girls who are using social media to sell their bodies for money. Now, before you guys get at me like my body, my choice, you're right. Absolutely correct. If you want to have your OnlyFans and Snapchat and all that, that is fine. That is okay. I don't got nothing bad to say. But when it comes to a relationship, you think I'm gonna take you serious? Nah. And I wonder what's going on in these girls' heads to make them prop a phone up and just show their private parts and then post it. Like there must be something really, you know what I mean? It's crazy. So I mean, I don't know, if a girl with an OnlyFans tried to get in a serious relationship with me, I'll laugh. Like, what? Right, come on. So like you stay away from that girl. And there's a lot of you simps out there that be feeding into it, you know what I mean? Like I know there's a lot of them that be paying that price, and just, hey, if no one was buying it, they wouldn't be doing it. So I gotta blame the fellas too. Y'all gotta cut that out. You know what I mean? If you don't got no audience, you can't perform. So I mean, a part of that is these little thirsty dudes out here that's, you know what I mean, doing whatever they can, get a girl, whatever. But if you looking for a real relationship, you know what I mean, you can't be on no OnlyFans and posting news and videos like that. That's over with. Like that's something you're supposed to send to your man privately, but now your whole friends list got it, and that's just nah. Like I said, it's all cool, you can do it, but when it comes to a relationship, ain't no one taking you serious. And if they do, just put the green hat on and the nose, because they're a clown. So you can't turn a hoe into a housewife unless you're Kanye West. So, and none of us are Kanye West. So them premium snap girls, stay away from them. So in review, the top 5 girls to stay away from: the lazy ones, the narcissists that think the world revolves around them, the ones that can't have a deep convo to save their lives, that have no substance, a social media thought that's liking every dude's pictures, posting pictures of her, you know what I mean, whatever she want to post it, like posting pictures of private parts, specifically showing them. Like it'd be a girl wake up like, oh, my hair is nice, but it be her ass in the picture. Like, you girls know what you're doing. So, and the premium snap and the OnlyFans and the wannabe Mia Khalifas of the world, you're canceled. So, I mean, like I said, I'm not judging. You guys can do whatever you want to do. If you fit the requirement, if you're a female of one of these things I just said, do you. But don't be mad when you attract, a clown like you, because you attract what you are. So if you are an insecure, low value female with, nothing to show for, you're going to attract a man like that. You don't be no bum ass girl and attract, no high profile dude. It don't work like that. So yeah, and the girls who that posted picture and then the dude come with the hard eyes and then they got the nerve to call him thirsty, that's so hypocritical. But my fellas, this is 2020. Find you a low-key girl that don't really be on social media like that, that don't need validation from social media, because a lot of these girls are coming to social media for their validation. A lot of these girls are attention whores. So you guys gotta just stay firm. Stop thinking with your emotions and think with logic. That's where we be getting fucked up at. Like, there's a lot of choices I had to make that I made off of logic. Even though my emotion said something different, you have to make it off of logic. And if you out here dating a girl with a premium snap, all right, when she cheat on you and she's recording another dude smacking it, don't act like you're surprised, because that's what that's what you went for. You got to be smart. How in NBA or NFL you have scouts, like look at the players, watch the players, scout them out and everything. That's how you got to be. It's like a draft. You got to see who does what. You just can't. It's crazy out here. You don't know who's in what. You just got to be cautious out here. But low key girl, respects herself, doesn't need social media for validation, open-minded, can have a deep convo. It's not asking a lot. We're not asking you to go to build a girl. Those are just simple things that we want. And them girls who do OnlyFans and being every dude likes or whatever, like I said, that's all good, but don't expect to get a relationship. And if you do get a relationship, you're going to get a relationship with a guy who you attracted with your whole tactics. So when you have a guy that's not so good, hey, the market's crazy out here. Ain't nothing out here but a bunch of gangbangers anyway, and dudes who don't want to do anything for themselves. The market's crazy. So when you get you a good girl, or girls, when you find you a good guy, you gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, those are my top 5 females to stay away from in 2020. So that concludes episode 1 of the podcast. Like I said, just in review, as far as the coronavirus and everything, just you guys stay safe. Don't panic. Educate yourselves. Find a skill or a trade or anything, and just make sure you stay updated on what's going on with the world. I'm a Patriot fan for life, and I'm a Bucks fan for now. And just dudes, make sure you watch out for these females who be on that fuck shit. Because if you cuffing girls with OnlyFans, that's hey, I don't know what to tell you, partner. So we will see you guys next week. We'll be dropping these weekly. And like I said, if you want to be a guest on the show or have your song played, just hit me up, and we'll talk, and I'll do interviews, and we just want to grow and make this something special. So thank you guys for watching. This is Blunt Thoughts, the podcast. We will see you guys next week. Like I said, inbox, comment, like, subscribe, follow me on social media. I have a lot of special things coming for you guys soon, so just stay tuned, and thank you. Peace.